Welcome to the MCU, by the way. You're joining at a bit of a low point.
Hey everybody, Colton here. So, Ryan Reynolds posted this picture of the Avengers A with a spray-painted Anarchy A over the logo, seemingly teasing his return as Deadpool in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. And maybe even teasing that we'll soon be getting the other half of the cast of Doomsday announced soon, which is being reported to come in like late August. That's right. More chairs. Now, this Avengers A with the Anarchy logo is actually the same symbol that we saw here in Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, this print of the Anarchy Avengers logo that Reynolds just posted actually looks like it might be on a t-shirt, which has me wondering if this isn't a Doomsday tease, but a tease at another movie in the pipeline, which I'll explain here in a bit. A movie that I might actually be even more excited for than just Deadpool being in Doomsday. Okay, so I feel like everybody is kind of freaking out like, oh my god, hell yeah, Deadpool is in Doomsday. And hey, yeah, I'm right there with you. But I have to be honest, this falls under the duh category for me. I've been saying for a while that Deadpool and Wolverine are totally going to be in Doomsday. And anytime I've heard people speculate that they won't be in Doomsday, I just want to hit them with my stupid stick. And yes, I have a stupid stick. I have never been able to imagine a scenario where Marvel wouldn't include Deadpool and, quite frankly, Wolverine either in this Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie since Endgame, and the first Avengers movie since one of the most successful films of this entire saga, Deadpool and Wolverine, coming in second, I believe, to only Spider-Man No Way Home, which Marvel Studios didn't even get the bulk of the box office for because it belongs to Sony Pictures. Deadpool and Wolverine was a movie that was not only a huge success for Marvel Studios, but it also had a shit ton to do with the multiverse and the TVA and Loki. Hell, it even had a Doctor Doom tease. Deadpool and Wolverine is one of the most important movies to this entire saga in terms of what they've been building toward. Why in God's name wouldn't you include the beloved merc with a mouth in this movie? It's unconscionable, and not only would it not make sense monetarily speaking to exclude Deadpool, but it doesn't make sense story-wise not to include him and Wolverine. All of the 2000s X-Men are going to be in this movie, and it's basically been confirmed that we will be visiting that Deadpool Fox X-Men universe in Doomsday. Universe 1005, the same universe, by the way, that Monica Rambeau wound up in at the end of the Marvels. If in Doomsday we are literally traveling to Deadpool's universe, then of course Deadpool and Wolverine are going to show up in the movie. And you know, if they don't show up in the movie, I'm gonna admit, I'll be a little pissed off. Might have to crack out the stupid stick. And hey, by the way, be sure to check out our Iron Man and Doctor Doom pointing meme shirt. It's a great shirt to have to wear to the movies, especially when Doomsday comes out. Okay, so I understand that Doomsday is already stacked with characters. Some might even say too many characters. The cast that they've announced thus far is already plenty of people to fill out even an Avengers movie. But there are some huge heavy hitters besides Deadpool and Wolverine that have been left out of this lineup, such as Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Rhodey, and even Monica Rambeau, who is at the X-Mansion. So it is clear that we definitely have more casts for this film to be announced. Feige has even said that the cast that they've announced so far is just, part of the cast. And in my humble opinion, Deadpool and Wolverine are shoo-ins for this movie. Now, some say, oh, just wait for Secret Wars. Deadpool and Wolverine can be in Secret Wars. And yeah, I get that. We still have Secret Wars, which will likely be Doomsday on steroids. But I've even heard some suggest that Deadpool and Wolverine won't be in Secret Wars either, saying that Deadpool and Wolverine was definitely Wolverine's final movie. And to that, stupid stick, man. Secret Wars is a movie where I expect to see the return of characters like Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, and most definitely Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, who I actually think is going to be in Doomsday as well. But Deadpool and Wolverine, they have been a part of this big lead up to Doomsday, and it just wouldn't make sense for them to not be involved in this story. Now, some will say, how do you do Deadpool and Wolverine in an Avengers movie without neutering them? Of course, alluding to the fact that an Avengers movie is going to have a PG-13 rating, not an R rating. Well, need I remind you that despite us being spoiled with Logan and Deadpool and Wolverine, once upon a time, Wolverine was in nothing but PG-13 movies. And as for Deadpool, he breaks the fourth wall, which means that in-universe we can see Deadpool decide to censor himself because he's in an Avengers movie and he knows that kids are watching. It writes itself. And to anyone who thinks that's too meta, One, She-Hulk has already been doing it in the MCU proper. I mean, she crashed through the Disney Plus homepage, for Christ's sake. And when Deadpool does break the fourth wall and makes all of these meta references, just like in the comics, he'll be viewed as crazy by everyone else around him, and no one is really going to pick up on what he's even saying. It'll just sound like the ramblings of a madman. There are several moments in Deadpool and Wolverine where Deadpool breaks the fourth wall directly to Wolverine, and Wolverine doesn't even acknowledge it. They just move on.
Disney brought him back. They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Let's go.
But maybe eventually we will see someone acknowledge Deadpool's ability to break the fourth wall, and that someone could be She-Hulk. When they meet for the first time and they both start breaking the fourth wall, we could see them like argue over whose thing that is, or maybe they even bond over it. I just really hope they don't go that super meta route of having Deadpool's fourth wall breaking ability be like a superpower to help look beyond the multiverse and find Loki and find Doom. Actually, that does sound kind of cool. And to anyone saying that Deadpool is too silly to be in a heavy movie like Doomsday, shut the fuck up. The Deadpool movies, all three of them, have some of the most chill bump inducing, dramatic, and heartbreaking scenes of any cape flick. I mean, come on, the Take On Me scene in Deadpool 2, the I Am the X-Men scene from Deadpool and Wolverine, chills every time. Now, before I go, I did want to discuss one more possibility of what this post is teasing. Like I mentioned at the top, this symbol was seen in Deadpool and Wolverine as a blue flag on this truck driven by Sabretooth, a member of Cassandra Nova's Pruned Brotherhood of Mutants. Making this symbol and this post by Reynolds yet another connection between the Void, Deadpool, Doomsday, the multiverse. It all connects. But specifically with this picture that Reynolds shared looking like it's on fabric, perhaps a t-shirt, perhaps a crew t-shirt, I wonder if Marvel has secretly greenlit a Deadpool and Wolverine sequel that takes place in the void between Doomsday and Secret Wars. That would be fucking awesome. It could be rated R and in the same vein as like an X-Force type story, but maybe they're instead like the Dark Avengers, or maybe they're just called the Anarchists and they're in Battle World as Doom is trying to like take over and be king of everything. They could be the Anarchists that are like standing in his way and like attacking his castle and stuff like that. And this whole idea of having a story that takes place on Battle World between Doomsday and Secret Wars, that's something they did in the Secret Wars comics as well. They had different stories happening in other comics that were taking place on Battle World or during that Secret Wars story. And that is totally something they could do with the movies. The possibilities are endless, and I think Marvel would be insane not to at least consider a Deadpool and Wolverine sequel. But hey, those are just my thoughts. I wanted to hop on here and share them with you, and I would love if you shared your thoughts and theories with me down in the comments below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video, and if you don't, I've been your host, Colton Ogburn. I'll see you next time. Bye!
You're still here. It's over. Go home.